of September. So in 1 year, you can have 3 to 4 months of summertime. And for most of you, you will have 3 summers. So adding together, it could be as long as a year. So if you can better use this time, you can really achieve a lot. For example, you can join some internship programs, you can go to some study trips, you can do some volunteer work so that you can enrich your CV. You can also spend this time to develop some of the important skills. Say, for example, as a non-local student, you may want to improve your Putonghua or Cantonese. And you may also try to organize some student activities so that you get to develop your organizational skills as well as communication skills. And lastly, by joining different kinds of activities, you will be able to meet your peers with different cultural background. And by joining some internship programs, you may be able to meet people from different walks of life. So it will help broaden your social network. Okay, so in this sharing session, we are going to cover all these. So first is different types of summer activities that the university can offer or will offer. And we are I'm also going to introduce to you some of the summer opportunities offered by your college, faculties, and departments. So the first part mainly by the central units of CUHK. The second part is the colleges, faculties, and major programs. And then also the most important part is the student sharings. So we have invited different students to share their summer plans. And I hope that you will get an idea how you could do your planning and learn from their experience. And lastly, I would do a roundup when you do your planning, what you need to pay attention to. So in order to allow you more time to interact with the senior students who will join us today live, so I will move the third part to the beginning so that you can also ask questions. You can send questions to the students so that there will be more time for that, okay? So first of all, I would like to invite our senior student, Sachiko from PACC Year 4, and she will be sharing with us what she has done in her 3 summers, as well as some of her suggestions. So may I invite Sachiko, and could you please share your PPT as well?
Yes. Thank you, Mary. Let me quickly share it. I believe people should be able to see my screen.
Yes.
Oh, let me turn off my background. I don't know how to do it, so sorry guys. I'll keep the background on with I think I can. Okay. So hi everyone. Thank you, Carrie, for that introduction. I think you've probably rounded up who I am already. So if you didn't quite catch that, my name is Sachiko. I'm a final year accounting student. And I'm originally from Indonesia, in case you're wondering where I'm from my name. So yeah, today, as like Carrie has mentioned, so my plan is to help you guys in your planning of your summer activities. I believe this maybe is probably your first summer, right? So I'll do this by walking you through my past 3 summers, as well as sort of like, you know, what goes behind, you know, like in my mind as I plan these summers. So this is a very brief overview of my different summer activities. So don't worry about it. I'll talk I'll focus more on each of them in the subsequent slides. So firstly, for my first year, I think in planning your summer, obviously you need to think about what it is that you would like to achieve, and not only this summer, but also what you want to achieve possibly in the next summers or even after graduation. So for example, if you already know you have a career goal in mind, for example, I really want to go into this company. So you should think about how can I maximize my summer so that I can increase my chances of getting into that particular company. But in my case, for my first year, I really just wanted to enjoy myself. I wanted to play because it was my first time overseas, like studying as in, and then, so I wanted to just play, but I told myself, like I don't really want to waste the 3 or 4 months just purely playing, just purely traveling. So I try to find activities in which I could sort of combine that productivity with the playing, the travel, and also combining work together. And the activities that I ended up participating in was I joined the Global Internship Program. So this is offered by CUHK. I think it's by OSA as well. So I got the chance to go to Malaysia, and then I participated in internship. So this was my first ever internship in year 1, right? So this really, I did not only able to work and, get exposed to different working cultures, different backgrounds, but I also got to play a lot. There was a lot of public holidays in between when I went. And then so, I can use that time to travel. Next was I also did a summer exchange. So I think a lot of you probably is already considering doing an exchange, right? But for me, even being in CU alone was already a very tough exchange. Like, I don't think I would be able to personally, I take a very long time to adapt to a place. So I thought that, the best way was just to try it out first. So a summer exchange is really good because it's only 1 month. Even if you hate the place, that you could still like escape. But I did enjoy it a lot. So I went for a summer exchange in Beijing, which is in mainland China. So it's actually not very far, right? But even considering how close it was in proximity and culture, I actually did learn a lot as well, because I decided to take courses that were not available in CUHK. So for example, I took a course on the Belt and Road. If you don't know what it is, it's just an initiative by China in order to help like other developing countries. And through that, we visited different organizations. And this was something that I wouldn't have been able to do if I didn't go to that summer exchange. It was also a very good platform to meet different people, to meet new people. And I still kept contact with some of them even after the exchange. And the last thing I did for my first year was to organize the International Student Orientation Camp, because I was part of the International Student Association. So I think obviously this is not the only O camp. Sadly, I think you guys probably did not have an actual O camp in uni. But if you do participate in other committees, I think as Carrie already initially mentioned, it's a really good opportunity for you to mingle with people, to really, brush up on a lot of skills, because even if your future goal, is to really just make my summer so that I can find a job, but there's so many hidden skills that you can learn through different activities. For example, in International O Camp, you need to be responsible, right, for, like in my case, 300 new students. You also need to show your organizational skills, how you manage to make sure that all the events run smoothly for these 300 students. So I think this is one of the, these are one of the few activities that could not only give you broad exposure, but also build up your CV as well. And then just, I think one last tip, I talked quite a lot of good things about the Global Internship Program, right? And I also heard a lot of good experiences from my other friends. But just a personal tip of mine was because when I went, I think the company was not up to my expectations. Even the job description was different. So I think, the university can only do so much to vet these companies. So, when you do get an offer, and when you do consider these companies, do make sure you do your own research so that when you get there, it would not it would match your expectations. And then for my second year, after I finished all my playing in my first year, I decided, okay, second year, I really need to focus on finding a job. Okay, I need to make sure I get a good career. So I did internships for my second year. But what I wanted to show first is that, so when you plan your summer, you need to be smart about it and try to make full use of the 3 or 4 months. For example, in my second year, I had a mandatory trip, so I can't not go from my program. So I needed to go to the study trip right to the UK and Switzerland. And so a lot of my other friends who went on the same study trip with me, they left their May empty because they're like, it's only 3 weeks or 4 weeks in May, and then I would just find an internship for July and August. But I think there's actually, ways in which you can still try to maximize the summer without leaving it empty. And so what I did was I know that if I wanted to find maybe an established company, it would be really difficult. So I decided to go for really smaller ones. So I interned in this startup for 4 weeks. And I think, overall, after considering the entire summer, I think doing this startup was actually really, really beneficial for me because it exposed me to different working cultures, and it aided in my decision in subsequent years as to what kind of career I actually like. Because the company I worked for in July and August is a very big accounting firm. They're maybe more hierarchical, if I have to describe it in one word. So, I know not a lot of people are able to work in that culture or in that environment. So it's really good to find out what you enjoy yourself, so do try to experience different things, So, I keep mentioning earlier that you may already have a plan of what you wish to do at the end, but doesn't mean that you don't let yourself to try other things because you may end up liking it more than what you planned initially. And then I just wanted to share some of the resources that I found useful when I was looking for these internships. So of course you can go through the different company websites separately, and I believe there's another sharing session on that, so I won't talk too much. But just a few that I'd like to mention was GGIS. I don't know how many people know this, but it's basically a job portal, I think, initiated by the 8 public universities in Hong Kong. So they merge all the career openings together for all the 8 public universities. So that was really useful because they had everything from if you wanted to be if you wanted to be a tutor, just to tutor English, to working in a small startup or working in very big companies. So I think that's really where you should start looking at. And then CUHK alone also has their own career portal. It's called the CPDC. I believe probably Carrie will talk more about this later on anyways. And there's also a lot of major specific ones. So I'm not sure which faculties you guys are all in, but I'm personally in the business administration faculty. So we have a SharePoint that really summarizes all these key internships that may be more related to our studies. So that was also a very good place to start. And I was talking to my friend and he said that engineering had something similar called the PIP, the placement internship program, I think, so you can always look at these. And of course, I'm very sure you've all heard of LinkedIn, Glassdoor, those are just a typical job sites. Lastly, I think this is where I really wanted to focus on. Was because the current situation, we're all in a pandemic. I'm doing this over Zoom with you. You're doing classes over Zoom. I don't even know how many of you are actually in Hong Kong. Maybe none of you are in Hong Kong. So this is something that everybody experienced. And when I was so my last year was COVID, right? So initially, I already secured internship at a bank. So my banking internship was supposed to last May, June, July, August, so the entire 4 months. But because COVID happened, it turned virtual and then it was cut to half. So I only started in July and then I ended very early in August. So, so I was thinking, what can I do so that I could just, make my May and June as productive? And I actually went to self-learn a lot of things. Just a few. I went to do some coding. I'm not very good at it, but I tried. I also did there's a lot of online certifications that you can get. I did the CFAs. If you're interested in doing finance, you probably know that. And then I also just learned something for my own hobbies. I learned how to do Muay Thai. Not sure how many people have heard of that, but it's basically just Thai boxing, like Thailand version of boxing. So why I bring this up is, it's not just to share to you what I learned, but it's also the mindset. So I'm very sure all of you here, has been listening to see different seniors telling you, oh, my summer was filled with all internships. I spent my 3 years all doing internships. And then because of that, I got a really good job now. But in my opinion, going back and, also considering the situation we're at, the reason why we do an internship, maybe it's virtual or not, is for probably one of the following reasons. It's to differentiate yourself so you can stand out later on in subsequent years to find a job. It could be to enhance your CV, like you were talking about the different skills. It could also be to showcase your passion to a certain field, or just showcase your skills to future employers. But don't be stressed or don't be sad if you can't find a virtual internship or a normal internship, because there's actually a lot of replacements that you can do. Especially I try to think or ask my friends alternatives that you can do over Zoom, during this pandemic session, that would serve all the 4 bullet points and help you in your future career without actually having to do an actual internship. So one that I think is very good is if you wanted to be a research assistant. So there's actually a lot of student helper opportunities. I'm very sure you've seen a lot of emails going on, right, about student helpers. So one way to serve as a student helper is, of course, if you want to help your professor. If your professor is doing a certain project, you can always try to help out, and that is a really good way to not only show your passion, but it could also enhance your CV, because you can always put that on your CV. You serve as a research assistant for this really big project for this really good professor. So I myself did that, research assistant, but I didn't do it over the summer. I did it with my accounting professor, just throughout the semester. So that's something you can consider. Also, I mentioned self-learning. I learn a lot of things on my own online. And I think this is also a way to enhance your CV, show your passion, show your skills. So in CU, they have Coursera for free for everyone. I mean, they used to have it last year. I believe they extended it until at least the next half year, but I'm not sure. You should check. But it's free for everyone. So why not just use it? And then there's also a lot of other online certifications, online websites that would give you all these things for free. And I think the third one was, if you still really, really, really just want to, at the end of the day, get that internship, right? But I can't get it now. So you can actually participate in competitions as well. And this is something you could do even if you're not in Hong Kong, because everything is over Zoom. You can join a Hong Kong competition, you can join a US competition, you can join wherever you want. Now we're literally, you don't care about the border. And most of these competitions that are sponsored by large companies, the winning prizes would typically involve something around internships. Of course you get money, but you also get to secure internships. And that is actually how I managed to secure my year 2 internship. The accounting firm one, I got it through a competition. And lastly, Carrie mentioned this earlier as well. I think you could also volunteer, because I myself did a service learning trip with my college, but it was during the winter, and I did learn a lot of skills that you can showcase to your employer, during interviews. Also, if, I know some people are just really passionate about a particular field, maybe about children or about helping the elderly. I'm not sure, your background, you can share, of course. So yeah, volunteering is just a good way. So I know I've been blabbering a lot, so thank you for listening to me. But I'd like to stop here first and see if there's any questions from anyone. You can open your mic, you can chat, you can do whatever you want. You're free.
Yes, thank you, Sachiko. And for all the students, so Sachiko has shared what her experiences And if you want to know particularly for particular programs, some of the details, please ask now, because Sachiko cannot stay to the end of this sharing session. So you need to get the time now, okay? Any of you have any questions? No questions?
Silence.
Actually,
Yeah.
I want to know how you found those internships. Like, I don't really know where can I start from.
Okay. So I have a direct message as well, but I'll answer yours first. For the different internships, I think I shared like some of the platforms that I used. So let me hold on. So these ones. So I think the first three. Like you can jot this down, or I think Carrie's gonna send you the slides after, anyways. So these are really good platforms in which I could find those internships. Of course, applying is something else. So stay tuned for that sharing session. But yeah, these are where I found it. And also for this accounting firm one, actually, because I was in my second year, most accounting firms won't accept you in your second year. They would only prefer if you were a third year student. So I actually got it through participating in one of their competitions. And then, I won the competition, and that's how I got the internship. I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to. Did I answer your question?
Yes. Sorry for like understanding correctly. So since you have mentioned already.
Yeah, it's fine. Thank you for your question. So I have one more question. I have another question. I mean, you direct message me, so I won't say your name. But the question is, could you explain more about study trip to the UK and Switzerland? What do you have to do? Okay. So I think it's Suzuki, right? UK and Switzerland. So, I should have mentioned something about this, but I forgot. My study trip was mandatory, right? It was required by my department, by my program, so I didn't have a choice. But so what I did was there was actually a lot of tasks. So there was a lot of pre-trip tasks as well before I went. We were already given things that we need to read on for the study trip itself, because over the study trip, we went firm visiting. So we went to different companies. And then for some of the companies that we went, the university would like us to showcase our skills. So they would give us a case study, and then we were supposed to present so that we can like boast ourselves, to the different CEOs, different officers. And that was one part. The second part was, it's a study trip. So we studied, right? So we went to different universities. So like in the UK, we went to University of Cambridge, and then we attended some of their classes. In Switzerland, we went to University of Lausanne, and then also attended their classes. So it was like a mini exchange, So that's, what I have to do. And I wanted to mention this because, so the study trip, I think it's a really good way to spend your summer, as well as a very fruitful opportunity. This also goes back to first year. If you wanted to play, you wanted to enjoy yourself, but also try to be productive, you can go on study trips. And there are different study trips. There are those are available for only major specific ones, like the one I went to. There are faculty ones, like I know the business faculty, I think does one in the summer and then does one in the winter as well. So you can look out for that. And there's also college one, like college also likes to offer study trips. So, see, like I'm giving you so much information. So basically, like what I did in my first year was just to keep reading my emails, because, they would send everything via email. So just read your email, they would have everything in there. I hope I answer your question, the person that direct messaged me. Okay. Any other questions? Hello. What is your major? Okay. I mean, again, I'm from the business faculty, so take my advice. not very seriously, please. But then for engineering, I think, in my opinion, getting an internship in your first year is very difficult because imagine as an engineer, there's so many things you need to do, so many skills it requires. So do you think you'd have them for first year? Probably not, right? But what you can do instead is try to build up your pathway to going to that internship. So like I mentioned, the research assistant, you don't exactly need to be a research assistant, but the engineering department, I believe, has a lot of like lab opportunities. So, you know, like I said, you need a lot of skills, right, for that internship. So why don't you start building up those skills in the lab? Like in CU, I mean, sadly, I know you're not in, like, I know you're not in Hong Kong, maybe, but if you're in Hong Kong, that's an option. But if not, then you could do it virtually with your professor as like in a research way. You know, you can, I think they have like a lot of like, I don't know what it's called, but then like you guys like read papers together, you know, and like cover the field. Yeah, I think that's probably good. And depending on what kind of job you want at the end, you could also just try to brush up your skills for some of that. Like, you know, I mean, coding is very important, and that's something that a lot of employers look at. So maybe if you want to brush up on that over the summer before the university, you can do that as well. Mm. I think maybe Carrie can answer this question. I'm not really sure.
It's just a general feedback that if you are interested to do some research work with your some of the professors, first you need to pay attention what are the projects the professors are doing. If you are interested in some of the projects, you may just self-nominate to the professor to see if there are any opportunities. You can work as, say, for example, student helpers during the semester, or there may be job opportunities during the summer. Okay?
Yeah, so I think the short answer to that is start now.
So it's always that we should be more proactive to look for opportunities. Even the pandemic is still here, right?
Both, you can do both. But I think for research, I think they don't post so much in CPDC. Yeah, so I think going to your professor is much easier. And I would suggest you start with your professors this semester or last semester, you know, those that you already had classes with. Because I'm not sure if you're in Hong Kong or not, you know, but sometimes it's, you know, it's better if your professor already had an impression of you, you know. So you can start there, you know, you can, I think if you Google your professor's name, you could look at, there's a website in which it would say the research interests of your professors and the project that they're working on, you know, if they've been given a certain grant. So you can start with that and then just try to email different professors. You're welcome.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah.
Did you consider taking summer term or semester?
What do you mean by summer term? Like, in CU, you mean? Taking a course in CU? Yes, I did consider because, I mean, you know, like you have a lot of UGs, your general educations to do, right?
Yes.
And that takes a lot of time. So a lot of people like to do that, those UGs in CU. But to me personally, you know, I just thought, having spent the last year in CU, you know, do I really want to do another course in CU? That was just the way I thought about it. And actually, like when I went for the summer exchange, I could actually transfer back my course as a UGEC course. So it's like a win-win situation, right? Like I'm not taking it in CU, but I could actually transfer it back in CU as well. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Sachiko, may I ask you a question?
Sure.
Yes, actually, I want to know for the Peking University Exchange Program. So, do you apply through the Office of Academic Links, or you do the application directly to the Peking University?
So it was a program between my college and university. Yeah, the OAL. I'm not sure, Office of Academic Links, I guess that's what it's called. Yeah, so I applied through the university, and that's why I got a super cheap price for it. Like I paid 10,000 renminbi, like 10,000, which I guess it's, I don't know, almost equivalent to 10,000 Hong Kong dollars for an entire month, but that includes like school fee and then board, like room as well. And then, yeah, like all the different activities that's included in it. Like it was 10,000 Hong Kong dollars. Yeah, as long as Carrie allows you, then you can. Yeah, so the Global Internship Program, so basically, yes, it's open to all. Like to your first question, it's open to all, to everyone in any year. So the university would already have different companies, different positions, and they would send it all like in a PDF email, or at least the previous few years it has always been in a PDF email. And then you can look through the list and see which one you'd like. So there would then be an application form in which you could pick out the three of your top three choices, and then you'll see if if OSA is going to nominate you for one of them. So actually, like the one to Malaysia was not my first choice. So this was actually, I think, my last choice. So I only got nominated for my last choice, and then but it turned out fine. But yeah, so it's open to everyone of different years, different majors, different faculties, whatever. And then you could also, you don't have to do something your major related. You could be electrical engineering, and you may decide to jump on my boat and go to do an accounting internship as long as the company accepts you.
And actually, OSA has the websites for the GIP program, so you can just get into the websites and see what is the arrangement for this year. Because I'm going to also show you some of the current openings they are calling for application in my later presentation. Okay.
Any other questions? I can take questions in all three languages if that matters. Like if you're more comfortable in speaking Putonghua, you can ask me Putonghua and I'll answer you.
Any other questions? Okay, if there is no more questions, then we thank once again for Sachiko's sharing, and we hope we will see you soon. Okay, are you on campus, right?
Yeah, I hope you. Yeah, I'm on campus right now. If you guys want to see the campus, so yeah. So
thank you for your time and all the preparation for this sharing session.
Thank you, Carrie, for inviting me. Yeah, thank you for inviting me. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, I'm going to share my PPT first. So actually, before that, let me introduce my next senior students, Regina, who will be sharing with us. And because she can't attend the live session, so I'm going to show you a Zoom recording for this sharing. So now I will show you the video, and if you find that the speaker box overlaps with the interviewee box, so please move it to the bottom, okay? So also let me know if you can hear the sound when I play the video. Okay, first. Sorry. Okay, so. Hello, Regina. Thank you for accepting our invitation to share with us your experiences in planning your summers. Could you please just give a very brief introduction of yourself first?
Yeah, sure. So hello everyone, I'm Regina and I'm a year 4 final student in CUHK and I'm majoring in journalism and communication.
Okay, so you're now in year 4. Could you show us what you have done in the past 3 summers?
Yeah, sure. So can you help me bring up the PowerPoint slide?
Here it goes.
Yeah, thank you. So I'll first talk about what I have done in year 1. So for year 1 summer, I joined the summer course in University of British Columbia in Vancouver. And other than that, I travel a bit. And for year 2, I joined the environmental trip to Sichuan and is an activity held by the YMCA in CUHK. And I also did another internship in Shanghai, which is under the program by GIP. And for year 3, I didn't do any summer plan because I was during my semester exchange in Australia.
Okay, so among all the activities, which activities you would like to recommend to our junior students?
I think all of the activities I joined are quite nice, and and like the experiences are quite good, like including the summer course and UBC and environmental trip and also the internship program.
Okay, you have a summer course at University of British Columbia in year 1. Can you tell us more about this program?
Oh yeah, so for that summer program at UBC, I took courses about film and theater. So I think it was quite special because we didn't have that course in CU. So for summer course at different country, you can actually take courses that you haven't heard about in CU. So that's a good experience. And also for the summer program, there are actually some activities held by the program. So I actually get to meet different people, and I actually kind of like expose myself to the cultures. And also last thing is that I get to transfer the credits back to CU.
So is it just like an exchange program?
It is not like an exchange program because for exchange program, you might be able to take classes with the local students at that universities. But for this summer course is actually a summer program opened by UBC to international students. So you won't be taking classes with the local students. So mostly like all of them are international students from different countries. So if you are thinking about like taking courses with the local students, you might have to pay attention to this.
Is it the reason why you joined another exchange program in year 3?
Not exactly, but then like, yes, because for summer course is just like short, is like 1 to 2 months. And for semester exchange is like 6 months. And for that half of year, you can like know like locals. Yeah, like you can immerse yourself better to that culture.
So Regina, so you have an environmental trip as well as an internship program in year 2. So why is it worthwhile to join an environmental trip?
I think it's because, so for that environmental trip, like I met quite a lot of new friends because that trip was actually a like 9 to 10 day trip. And before I went, I didn't know anyone who were going to that trip. And so during that 9 to 10 days, I really met some good friends. And like for me as an international student, I always want to like immerse myself better with the like local students. So that and actually other students who went to that trip are actually locals. So I think I met a lot of like good local friends there.
Thank you. And how about the internship? Do you learn anything from that? Or does it help you to enhance your CV or something like that?
Yeah, I think definitely yes, because so that internship was really a good experience because so for that internship program, it allows you to go to many big companies in China. And so I actually went to one big company called Xiaohongshu, which is like a popular social media in China. And because of the working experiences there, I get to know like how it is like to work in a company. So and it makes me like more prepared or more prepared for my like future job.
Okay, so I can see that you have the semester exchange in Australia for 2020 summer, last summer. So did the exchange program cover exactly our summer period?
Yes, like so for my semester exchange, it actually starts from like March to July. So yeah, it kind of overlaps with our summer.
Last year, many overseas programs have been cancelled or changed to online. Was the exchange program you joined an online one? And if yes, is it still worth of joining?
So my semester exchange in Australia was an online one. And though it was not the best experience I could have, but then it was like I still get to like travel a bit in Australia, and I still get to like meet the people there and experience their culture. And so I think it was still not bad to like kind of like change a place to do online study.
So it's like you have already arrived Australia and then it started to do the online learning.
Yeah, so I arrived in Australia in February, and our semester starts from March. And I just went to the class for a day, and then the school announced that everything would turn online. So I went there, and then I knew that everything would go online.
So it's still a very special experience to you, right?
Right.
You have joined different kinds of summer programs, including summer courses in overseas countries, environmental trip, and internship in mainland China. How you get known of all these opportunities?
I actually get to know all of these activities through my emails. Yeah, like through my CUHK emails. Like I know there are a lot of emails sending to you every day, but I think I suggest you that you can still like kind of like scan it and maybe so like find activities that you're interested in and pin it first, so you can like go back to it and look for the like activities you're interested in it, like when you're planning for your summer.
When you planned your summers, what factors you have considered, and any general advice to our students on planning their summers?
I think there were like two main factors when I'm planning for my summer. Like first is definitely my schedule, and the second is what I want to do. So for the schedule, I will make sure that all the activities I want to join, their time don't collapse. And the second is what I really want to do. So for example, like for year one, I don't feel like doing internship, so I actually go for the summer course and travel. And for year two, I feel like I need to gain some working experiences, so I chose to do internship. So, and for the general advice that I would give to you all is that maybe you can like list out all the activities you are interested in and like pay attention to the time and start planning.
So if you have a second chance, do you want to make any changes to your summer plan?
I think for the past summer, I already done a lot of things. So I don't think there's anything that I need to change, but there's one thing is like for year three, since I'm doing semester exchange in Australia, I didn't get to do internship. But if I was given another chance, I would like to do an internship because that will make me more prepared, like mentally prepared, and maybe gain some working experiences before I graduate.
Thank you, Regina. So do you want to add anything?
I think that's most of it, but just want to remind the students that even though you haven't get any ideas about your summer plans, or like don't be anxious and don't panic, because for the past few years when I was planning my summer plans, I might feel like quite anxious when I'm talking to my classmates, because like everyone seems to like have a lot of plans or already like decided to go for something. So yeah, just don't panic and you will find what you want to do like for your summer.
Thank you so much for your sharing. I'm sure it gives some insights to our junior students in planning their summers. Thank you and bye-bye.
Bye.
So this is Regina's sharing, and I want to get back my PPT first. So a minute. So are you with me again?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So from Regina's sharing, actually, I want to draw, there are 2 points that I want to draw your attention. First, when you plan to join a summer course offered by an overseas university, and you wish to study together with their local students, you better check if the courses offered allow their own students to register. Okay, and the second thing is when you have joined an exchange program, please check the term time. Say for example, the semester exchange joined by Regina, even though it's a term time exchange, actually it falls in our summer months. So it may affect your planning in some way, okay? So after these 2 sharings, I'm also want to share with you and other students summer plan, which is from Guo Xinmen, Year 4 Chinese Language and Literature students. And because Xinmen is going to plan to further study after graduation, so you can see that in Year 3, she has spent the whole summer for university summer course, as well as doing all the graduate school applications, and as well as prepare all the exams that needed for the further studies. And there are 2 points that she has shared with me. First is that when I asked if she wants to make any changes for her summer plan, and she shared that she feels she could do a little bit more in Year 1, because in Year 1 she has arranged voluntary teaching services in Guizhou, and she thought there are vacancies that she could do more. And the second thing is she wants to recommend special general education courses to the junior students, which is a special general education courses, the Knife and Arts in Pre-Modern China, which is special because it includes the study tour to museums in mainland China, which is guided by the Arts Museum curator. Okay, so we have seen the study plans of 3 senior students. So probably you already get some ideas of what activities you can plan for. So now I'm going to show you what are the summer activities and opportunities CU Hong Kong will offer to our students. So first is the summer course. So actually, when we are talking about summer courses, there are 2 types. The first type is the university summer session, and the second type is the international summer school. So, so what is the difference? The main difference is that the university summer session is for our students only. But the international summer school, actually, the target students are students from other universities, but our students can also apply, okay? So for the first one, it will be taking place in mid-May and till early July. And you don't have to pay extra tuition fee. And you can choose among general education courses, some modern languages, and some of the major programs will also offer some of the courses in the summer session. So probably you can take some of them as your free electives as well. For the course add drop, the arrangement is similar to term 1 and term 2 arrangement. So you will do the course registration in roughly early April if we are taking taking reference from the previous years. So please pay attention to RES announcements later. From here, I would like to add a point is that if you plan to take 2 general education courses in this summer session, please pay attention that you can only add 1 general education course during the course registration period. If there are vacancies, you may be able to add another one during the adjunct period, okay? So for the international summer school, as I have mentioned before, they welcome students from other universities to take course. Therefore, you will have chance to study with students from different cultural backgrounds. And actually, there are 2 sessions. So there will be the July session as well as the August session. So for the July session, the types of courses they offered will be more. So you have more choices. They have courses like business and finance, understanding China. They have Cantonese and Putonghua courses. They also have some courses that under the area environment, science and technology, as well as society and human interaction. So if you want to enroll courses in this summer session, you don't have to pay tuition fee, but you have to pay a deposit, which is 1,000 for 3 credits. This deposit will be refunded upon completion of the courses. And as you can see from here, so it mainly covers the July, and the application, you need to do the application by May, okay? So for the August session, so they only offer Putonghua courses. So I guess it will be international students may be able to take some of the courses. But as they don't have many courses offered, if you want to enroll courses in this session, you will have to write to the Office of Academic Links instead of doing some application forms or something like that. These 3 summer sessions are all offered by CUHK. So if you want to enroll them, you need to pay attention for the credits requirements of CUHK. So that is per year, you can only take 39 units. And for the summer session, including all of these 3 sessions, you can only take 6 credits. Okay, say for example, if you have already taken quite a number of courses in term 1 and term 2, say for example, term 1 you take 18 and term 2 you take 18, that means you only have 3 units left for the summer term. It is not easy to apply for exceeding the year limits. If you want to take more credits in the summer term, say for example, you want to take 9 credits, because your term 1 and term 2, you don't take many courses, then there is a way that you can apply to exceed these credits, but we will need to wait to see if they will approve it, okay? Okay, let me check. Okay, so Here, I would like to introduce two special general education courses to you. Even though, because I know that some of the mainland students also join this group. These two special courses offered by the Office of University General Education in the summer. So why they are special is because they include study trips or experiential learning. So for the first one, which is about agriculture, it will include lectures in Hong Kong, then a 6-day study trip to Taiwan, and then after that, you need to do a group presentation as well as submit a term paper. And for this course, which is about the meditation to mindfulness, which also include lectures plus experiential learning. So you will go to Taipei for some doing some mindfulness practice, and then come back. You do the group presentation as well as the submit a reflective essay. So because of the course nature, they are conducted in Cantonese and Putonghua. That's why international students may be difficult to join them. And because these kind of courses involve a lot of preparation, they have really early application deadline. So you can't join this year if you haven't applied it because they have the application deadline by December. So why I still mention here, because I know that you are year 1 or year 2 students, maybe you can still check the opportunities in your coming years, okay? Okay, after talking about summer courses, let's go to the summer exchange. So for summer exchange, you can actually check Office of Academic Links. So here the screen capture list the universities that have summer exchange arrangements with our university. So if you are going for an summer exchange, you will be taking credit-bearing courses from different disciplines, and you will be able to explore the host country and its culture. And because it is an exchange program, you don't have to pay additional tuition fees, but you will have to pay accommodation as well as program fee if there is any. And it is possible to transfer credits if the courses are equivalent to our courses offered. Okay. So there are also study abroad programs. So if you are interested to join some short-term study programs in some overseas universities, you can check the Office of Academic Links. So here I only capture part of the list of the universities that they have summer schools or international summer schools, something like that. And they are mainly offered by CU Hong Kong's partner institutions. Programs may include cultural and language courses, some field trips, some research projects, or etc. And because it is not an exchange, you may have to pay fee directly to the host institution. And if it involves some courses, still you may be able to transfer some credits. Okay. For other summer programs, you can check from the website for details and to see if you are interested. And if you are interested, you can apply. But I want to particularly draw your attention for the first one, which is actually publicized by the Department of Linguistics and Modern Language. So normally they will. So I'm not sure for arrangement for this year, but normally if students are interested to learn some modern language such as Spanish, German, French, or Korean, so they will suggest some programs to you, suggest you which university to go, which course to take. And the benefit of joining these programs is that they have already checked the courses, so you will be able to transfer the credits back. And I want to add one more thing is that because they normally target to those students who have taken these courses. So if you want to join and you haven't taken these courses, you may need to check updates from their websites, okay? Okay, so we have talked about study opportunities in other universities, and some of the courses you can do credit transfer. So what are the ideas? So how you do the credit transfer? So here I list the basic steps that you need to follow. So first, decide which university and what courses to take. And then you try to identify if there is any equivalent courses at CUHK. After that, you send the course materials to the course offering departments to check if they are really equivalent. So when the course offering departments are checking whether a course is equivalent or not, they normally will consider whether they are comparable in scope and standard, and the status of the institution, number of teaching hours, normal level of the course, and the grade you achieved, okay? So if they have checked and they say their answer is yes, then you can apply officially at CUHK after completion of the courses. As you can see from my slide, I have put optional here. So if you join a summer program and credit transfer is not the key point of consideration for you, you can skip this step first. You can study and do the application after you complete the courses, okay? Okay, so I am going to finish all my presentation first, and then I will allow you to ask any questions you may have, because in yesterday's sharing session, I know quite a number of the students have questions about credit transfer and about the summer courses. So you can ask me later, or put or type your question in the chat box now if you worry that you will forget, and I will go through all the questions later, okay? So for when we are planning our summer, so the other major area that you can consider is doing summer internships and summer jobs. So actually, I'm not going to go into very details about how you should prepare to apply internships in this sharing session, because in the coming Friday and on the 8th of March, we are going to have another sharing session, particularly on this topic. But I'm going to share with you some of the internship opportunities that are publicized through CU Hong Kong units, as well as what are the other platforms you can try to search for internship opportunities. So first is the Global Internship Program, which actually both Regina and Sachiko has joined. So this is an internship program organized by the Career Planning and Development Center. So actually, they already have some openings now. So you should, if you are interested, you should keep checking the openings, and if you are interested, you should follow the application deadline and follow the application procedures as listed in their website, okay? So apart from the GIP program, actually you can keep checking the CPDC websites. From latest news, they actually posted different job or intern opportunities. So when I prepare this PPT, so you can find that there are some intern opportunities and some innovative program that are open for students to apply, okay? So other university units that offer internship opportunities is the iCare. They have the NGO internship program. And the Art Museum, they also have a summer internship program. So check their websites for updates of this year, okay? And for the Office of Academic Links, China, they also will post internship opportunities. But because these internship mainly will take place in mainland China and Taiwan, so they may sometimes have preference to, I'm not saying preference, have priority to certain groups of students. So you need to pay attention to that, okay? Okay, here comes some of the other platforms that you can look for summer job or summer internships. So the CU job link, which only works for our CU Hong Kong students, okay? So GIGIS, which Sachiko has mentioned, which is a platform for all the university students of Hong Kong to look for jobs. And then you can also use other platforms like LinkedIn, JobsDB, CP Jobs, or this is the Hong Kong Science Park, which may be more relevant for engineering students. So go to their websites and check internship or something like that, and then you may be able to get some opportunities that you want, okay? Okay, another thing, another type of activities that I want to share is the experiential learning activities. So the iCare, they have a scheme called Social Service Project Scheme. So under this scheme, you can write your own proposal for some social service programs. It could be conducted in Hong Kong, in mainland China, or overseas. So why I'm talking here, even though the topic is about summer plan, is because you can always design your own social service project in the summer, okay? So they have 3 rounds of vetting. So for this year, the 3rd round is still open to receive applications from students. So if they find your proposal is good, they will offer some funding to you. So for the first 2 rounds, the maximum funding is 20,000 Hong Kong dollars. But for the 3rd round, it is the maximum funding can go to 300,000. So I think it's enough for you to do some overseas service by through this scheme, okay? So another program that I have searched is the also from OSA, the Student Development and Resources Session. They have overbound undergraduate program right now. So you can check all these opportunities yourself. Okay, all I have shared are all opportunities offered by the central units. That means they are open for all students. But you are all from different colleges and also from different faculties, different major programs. So there are also opportunities offered by your colleges. So as you can see, I have just searched the website and checked some of the information, but please check updates from the website and also pay attention to the emails they send to you when they have opportunities. So for the colleges, there are all kinds of activities we have already mentioned, like they have study abroad program, they have internship, they have service learning, travel study. And one point that I want to draw your attention is that because most of the colleges encourage students to go exchange or have some overseas experience, they actually have financial support to their students. So pay attention to these. Maybe you will get some fund support to join some of these programs, okay? So not only the colleges, your faculties and departments may also have different summer programs for you to join. So here, I'm not going to go through it one by one, but I want to point out that for the faculties and departments, normally it will be summer programs or the study abroad program, as well as some practicum. Some are compulsory and some are optional. So I want to, One of the engineering students just now have asked about opportunities offered by the faculty engineering. So perhaps you could go to this website to check, okay? Okay. Okay, so we have just covered all the opportunities offered by the university, but actually you still have a lot to do if you want or if you have the interest. So first, some of the students have mentioned that you can always help in the orientation camps, either be one of the organizing committee members or be the group leaders or just be helpers. So try to engage in these activities so that you get chance to know more people as well as to help the freshmen to adjust to the learning environments. And you can join different kinds of social service activities, do some voluntary jobs, volunteering teaching, or just visit some elderly people and help those who are in need. Or you can join some interest groups. It could be drama clubs, it could be debate teams, or sports clubs, something like that. And it's a good time for you to prepare for public exams. Say, for example, if you want to go for an exchange, you may need the IELTS or the TOEFL exams. It's good if you can do it during the summer. Or you can just, together with your friends, go traveling and try to explore the world, or just take a driving test, or just relax and get yourself ready for the new semester, okay? So when we prepare this sharing session, actually we also try to approach the senior students and ask them for some recommendations of activities they have joined. So this list included all the inputs of the students. So after checking this feedback, as well as the free students sharing just now, we could find that actually activities recommended by senior students mainly fall into two categories. So the first is all different kinds of study tours. That includes mainly two parts. So one, that you have a chance to learn something, like either learn a language or learn inform of a course. So you can see from this, this is a course, and this is another course, this is study in France, and this is some culture program that you go to another university, and this is the summer course of the Peking University. So you get to learn something, and at the same time, you can go to another country or another place to expose to another culture, okay? The other group is the internships, which I think is quite obvious that it helps you to enhance your CV, as well as get you mentally prepared for joining the job market, okay? And actually, one of the students has mentioned of if you have planned to further study, especially if you want to join the research-related programs, or you just not quite sure whether further study suits you or not, try to do some research with professors and have a taste of doing research to see whether it is a good choice for you, okay? So just to round up, when you plan your summer, okay, think about your interests, the budget. So as I have mentioned before, some of the colleges, they will sponsor or provide some financial support to students for joining some overseas programs. And think about your graduation plan. If you are going to work or if you are going to further study, that may affect how you plan your summers, okay? And explore the opportunities like joining this kind of sharing session and pay attention to the updates of different websites. So we have included a lot of the links here. So probably you can keep checking all these offices to see if they have new programs for you to join. And really important is that actually most of the activities will be sent to your email account. And every Friday, there is an ITSC mass mail. So please check these emails and see if there are anything you think you may want to join, okay? And then when you get know of these activities, try to check what it is, when is it, and how long it will take. And plan early, because some of these programs have very early deadlines, okay? So also plan as a whole, because you have 3 summers. So you can actually do a lot if you plan well. So you can have different activities actually for the 3 summers, okay? So as Sachiko actually has already mentioned that even though we are still affected quite a lot by the pandemic, but I think it's no good we just wait for opportunities. We should just try to explore what opportunities there are now and try to get the best option for yourself, okay? As actually, there's no one who can tell when the pandemic will disappear. And even if it is gone, we are not sure whether we will be back to the normal we are thinking of. Okay, so this is what I want to share, and I'm going to answer questions if you have any. So you can talk to me or you can text me, but at the same time, may I just check the chat box first, okay? The first is, can students from different college join activity in different college? I think the colleges offer activities to their own students. So you should pay attention to your own college, okay? Can you upload this PPT in chat room, please? Sorry, I may need to, because I'm also want to include Sachiko's sharing in a PDF format. So probably I will work on it and upload it to the SharePoint later. And probably early next week, I will inform you for the link so you can go and download it. Okay, is that okay? The driving test is just an example of what you can do. So say, for example, if you want a driving license in Hong Kong or in somewhere else, so you can go and take the test. But I guess in Hong Kong, it should be fine. I think what you need is you need to be 18 years old. Yeah. Okay, any other questions you want to ask, or you just type in the chat box, but I will let you to ask if you can. Okay, there's another question. May I ask if the university summer session would be online teaching as well, at least for now? I'm sorry, but there is no announcement at the moment, so I'm afraid we will have to wait a little bit more to wait for the announcements by the registration and examination session. But for the international summer session, they have already confirmed it to be online because they are targeting to students from all different kinds of countries. Okay. Any other questions? No questions? Are you clear about the unit and course exemption or the number of credits limitation for a year or something like that? Okay, so actually, for last year, even if students have applied suspension of studies for term 2, they are allowed to take the summer session automatically. But in the previous years, if in that case, you will have to apply. So please pay attention to the announcements of the university, or you can, when the registration and examination session has announced that when you can add the courses in the shopping cart, then you can check if you can add the courses. If you can, then it's okay. If you can't, you can look for a form and then fill out for your major programs endorsements for joining the summer session. Okay. Okay. So there is another question that I will answer the student later. Okay. So any other questions, please?
I want to ask a question. So for the international summer session, so the summer session for both CUHK and international and other students, if I take the course, would the course be counted to my unit? Like, can I transfer it back to my?
You are CU Hong Kong students, and all these courses are offered to CU Hong Kong students as well as other students. So when you apply, you already know the course, how many credits they are carrying. So they will go directly to your transcript. Okay.
Thank
so
you.
just like taking a course in the term time, but it's summertime. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I want to add one point is that if you go to some study abroad programs, say for example, you join some summer school in another university, that units does not count to the 39 units, okay, because you do the credit transfer, okay? So when we are talking about the 39 units requirements, we are talking about the courses offered by CUHK, okay? Any other questions? No? No, then I will say good evening to you all. Okay, if there, one more thing is that if you don't have any questions, so I will end the session now. But before that, I would like to share with you that we have another sharing session. The topic is on summer and term time internship, and there will be students sharing their experiences of how to prepare for the internship applications, something like that. Okay. Oh, there is a question from the chat room. So what's the usual time to apply for exceeding credits for the summer session? So say, for example, if you want to apply for more than 6 units in the summer session, right before you do the course registration, you should have this application approved because that will allow you to add the course. Okay, so you need to do it before you do the course registration. And when the registration and examination session announce that the shopping cart will be ready and something like, and you can check the courses, by that time you can check the form and do the exceeding credits application by that time, okay? Yes. Linda has added that when the summer timetable is ready. Okay. So we think the summer timetable will be ready soon because we expect that the registration will be, the course registration will be done in early April. Okay, so you can pay attention. Okay, so if there's no question, you can leave now. And I will leave for one of the students would like to talk something else, I think. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you for joining. Bye-bye. Take care all. Okay.
So can I ask a question now?
Yeah. Is it okay to ask now?
It's totally fine, but so sorry for not understanding well, but I'm not really sure when we will graduate from the university, because like, I mean, what month of the year?
Okay, so are you advanced standing or?
I'm not normal students.
So
I'm
you are
regular.
4 year.
Yes.
Okay, so normally we don't take summer courses in our last year. Okay,
Yes.
so if you are, say for example, in your year 4, after you complete term 2, your exams will be finished in May, mid-May. Okay, so probably when the results are out, then probably you can get confirmation whether you can graduate or not. But the degree classification, something like that, will be announced in mid-July, I think, of that year. Okay.
So by the end of May.
I think once all the academic results are released, then you will know whether you can graduate.
I can graduate or not.
Yeah, but if you want to know that which honor you are first on or second on, something like that, that will be announced in around mid-July. Okay.
And like
the certificates, graduation certificates will only be distributed in November of that year.
So no, the graduation ceremony is on November, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I was, I wanted to know whether, I wanted to know when, because I was considering to have, job opportunities in my country. So.
Okay.
So it's pretty, different.
Okay.
So, thank you. That was.
Welcome. Any other questions?
Yeah. I want to ask, can we have opportunities to have the link of recordings of tomorrow's sharing session or the materials of tomorrow's sharing session? Because this time I'm not available.
So I will allow this to be answered by the Leo responsible for that sharing session. But most likely, the materials will be uploaded to the SharePoint. Okay. But of course, we encourage students to join the live session because there will be interaction and you can ask questions to the students or the Leo responsible. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
So goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye-bye. If there is no more question, I will end the meeting. Bye-bye. Okay, is the date rescheduled? No. The internship sharing session actually will be taking place in the this Friday. So this Friday is 普通话, and if it is English session, it is on the 8th of March. Can you join? Yeah, it's rescheduled. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, they have rescheduled it because of some reasons. Can you do that? Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, bye-bye.